Talks.
Hello, 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 people. Welcome back to Go Movie Talks. How are you? How have you been, Freddy?
We've been, I've been fantastic celebrating the new year.
Oh, yes, it's been quite an ending, quite an ending. Okay?
So, for you viewers, you're going to see this on the second week of the year. But again, we're filming on pretty much almost the very first day of the year. So, I'd like to say 2026 is going to come with all positive movies, positive experiences for everybody. That's what I wish to all of you.
Yes, as well as I wish for all of us lots of health, lots of prosperity, and a lot of positive numbers in all our bank accounts. Let's begin.
Right. No, positive numbers in our bank accounts. Yes, very good.
What movie are we talking about today, Freddie?
The Holy Mountain.
The Holy Mountain. Let me tell you, it's a very good movie. It's a very good movie, but boy, way too much. Way too
Look, visually
much.
speaking, it is a very appealing. You really cannot take your eyes off of it. But in my opinion, I insist it. Remember the festivities, everything going on. I found it very hard to find the thread that put everything together. I very easily got lost a few times, not always, but it was an exercise.
Absolutely, absolutely. I would have segmented into three volumes. Three volumes, okay? So, yes. But before talking about the volumes, I guess we should, give our listeners and viewers some context in relation
Yes.
to this movie.
Now, do me the honor because I'll admit I feel like I only had two neurons after I watched this movie. It got hard, I'll admit, and I insist. I may have been distracted, busy with work, other stuff, but it was a struggle for me. So, Maria Laura, please do me the honors because I'm most likely going to learn from this too.
I hope I can do it well, okay? But well, based on my perception, there's Jodorowsky's portrayal of this version of Jesus Christ, okay? And Jesus Christ is not as the usual Jesus Christ we've been presented throughout history. Totally
Mhm.
the opposite. It's a thief. It's a guy with some vice. Some. It's a commoner. Actually, I mean, this could be a perfect representation of Jesus Christ, brought to our times within a difficult economical context, and he's a thief. Okay, as simple as that. So he doesn't have like well-shaped manners or all that. Totally the opposite. He's a very tough guy. Okay, this guy is brought to a particular setting within a social environment, contextualized in Mexico. Okay, and he faces a situation that there's being a very commercial construction of his image. Okay,
Okay.
because there are images about him every single where. Okay, that are um uh fans of this religious belief, okay? And not the typical fans who, you know, go to church, or people who are religious,
If
or
you will, this is his second coming.
sorry?
This is Jesus's second coming. Like, remember, he died, he went to heaven, and I mean, he revived, and then he went to heaven. So this is supposed to be him coming back to a very surrealist modern days where, again, his image is everywhere. So,
Yes.
okay, so far, I did not fully get that when I first watched the movie, but yes, makes sense. It's context, it's good context what you're giving me. So,
Yes,
like,
his image is everywhere, and very industrialized, okay, by people who simply make a business out of his story, okay? So you can see that it at some point very early in the movie, he gets disappointed. He's like, "What's
mhm.
all this?"
What's all of
Okay.
this? Yes. Uh-huh.
Yes, when you see, I mean, for example, there's one of the scenes that he wakes up, and he finds out there are like millions and millions of, I don't know, dolls made out of him
Hmm.
in the cross, and he's
Which
just
is,
like,
don't get me wrong. I actually think that's it. I'm not gonna say criticism, but it is something that could realistically happen if he were to come back and say, "Oh, what's all this? This is this is
exactly,
unexpected."
exactly. I mean, how's this that I am everywhere, you know, carried, and you
I
know,
will say,
hanging on walls, hanging on, festivals, hanging, visualize, and like in the spots of every single person, every single person who makes a photograph, makes a video, and simply makes a
I will
party or
say
whatever they want from all of my story.
this helped me contextualize the reason why it was made in Mexico, because they wanted a deeply Catholic society where
Absolutely.
religious images is everywhere. It's because that's where I guess I was hung up at. Like, why Mexico? I at the moment I did not think of it. But yes, it makes all the sense in the world now. Okay, that is the main reason why. Yeah, because to me, I think I went down a rabbit hole of what does the Mayans have to do with this, because that's how it all started, and I really got hung up on that idea. But okay, it makes sense now. Yes, absolutely. Okay, that's a reason why.
And we need to consider the context of the director, Alejandro Jodorowsky. Okay. I mean, this is a man of many worlds. Okay. Not only the one we live in. Okay. He's an expert on astrology, uh, tarot, cosmos, and, any science that's not properly scientific, but rather, he's been quite deep into other ways to explain facts in the world. Okay, so again, this is a very dense movie. Okay, and all of these is placed into the movie, okay? As well
And
as
it goes to show us, for the viewer, that you and I, uh, we don't really discuss the movies way beforehand. We do it live here with y'all. So, and I'll admit it, I don't really have any problem admitting it. I came here and I didn't fully understand what I had watched. I did not want to watch it again because that's also part of the magic. Sometimes you just need to talk things out with somebody to put things into perspective.
absolutely.
So you could look at it as you, the viewer, or we are that other somebody for you, the viewer.
Mhm.
So I purposely did not go and doing much research because I want to get your perspective, MLaura, on why what I was missing. Because that also means a movie by itself does provide the context. I am the one that was possibly not on the correct mindset, or simply it just I missed it. But
Yeah,
that's very important
again,
on how to
it
watch a
combines
movie.
too many things that not all of us are acquainted with. I mean, not
Yes. For
everyone knows
instance,
about tarot, not everyone knows about astrology, not everyone knows about how to combine all
the
these
the story of
conceptualizations with
Jesus, that's also something that not everybody's well acquainted with.
exactly,
Personally, I am just because of how I was raised, but at the same time, I don't practice any religion anymore. So,
exactly.
stuff that I once knew, it may not be as fresh in my mind nowadays. So I may not have picked up on every single detail, but
And I mean, for example, in my case, I'm acquaintance with many of the things that were presented here. Okay, art, consumerism, uh, tarot, even astrology. When I don't like it that much, but I know some bits about it. But again, I mean, it's like you make a salad with too many ingredients that it tastes
I'll
like
put it this way because I really don't like criticizing these kind of choices in the sense that it is the perfect dish for somebody who's deeply into all of these elements. But
that.
I personally, I'm not gonna say I'm not into it. I love discussing it, but again, to me, it's a one-on-one discussion. Astrology and tarot, I'm clueless. I really enjoy talking to somebody who knows about it, but like I completely missed a lot of these references. That's also probably why I was
Okay.
somewhat I missed with this movie, and that is fine. You also need to
No,
understand that each
absolutely,
all
absolutely.
movies are not meant for every public. What matters is giving it a chance. So
Exactly.
I don't
Exactly.
regret the time that I spent with this movie. Now, actually, in fact, I want to watch it again because I've been given context. So the whole thing is you as a viewer understand that it's perfectly fine not to like, not to understand a movie. You are just not the public
Yes.
for it, possibly, or you just don't have the knowledge to
And
process
it,
it.
and it's even understandable the fact that you don't like it at all, okay? Because there is too much of satire in the movie, okay? That if you pretty well manage to, connect one thing with the other, you say, ah, that makes me laugh. But again, it's too much. This is not a movie for everyone, okay? And even when you have a pretty good understanding of all the conceptualization that's mixed up in this movie, I particularly got tired, okay? There was a time in which I told myself, ugh, this is too much. I just want that to finish, okay? And the ending is just marvelous. Marvelous. It's like, you know what? All this has been part of an illusion. This is a movie, okay? So again, there is no absolute truth. For example, okay? At the end you can realize, okay, there's no absolute truth. At the end, you can actually come to the understanding that this director even had an egotistic presentation of himself participating in the movie as the alchemist. Okay, and the alchemist plays a very important role in these
Yes.
two branches we have mentioned, tarot and astrology. Again, I don't like astrology. I know about astrology, but um, again, this is too much. This is too much. Okay. Well, this Jesus Christ then enters into a phase where he meets this alchemist, okay? and this could have been volume two, okay, where the alchemist actually presents Jesus Christ the planets, okay,
Hmm.
Saturn, I don't remember, Venus, and all of these planets, all these astrological representations of, you know, human behavior and how this connects to the present of each individual, okay? And I tell how this connects to the presence of each individual because that's actually what tarot is about, okay? Tarot is not about guessing, oh, this is going to happen to you. You're going to win the lottery. You're going to meet this person. You're going to have, an accident. No, 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 no. This is not about the future, okay? Tarot is just the philosophy, the understanding of your intrinsic parts and how you connect your intrinsic with the outside, okay? And how each element is working on favor of everything happening within your present situation, okay? And only by saying this, I'm sweating, okay? I'm sweating because I'm tired.
Well, I mean, people interpret my silence. I'm just like listening and learning because, again, I'm not really, I have never dwelled into this topic this profoundly. Like, never.
I find it quite interesting, quite interesting. I mean,
It
I
is.
mean,
It is.
you're a person who likes learning everything. You just find some interest on getting to know about this. Not necessarily you have to, go outside with, a mass of cards and start reading tarot to everyone. No. But if you read about it, you can find many interesting things.
But that's
Okay?
also part of it. What is the entry level for you to understand the codes being presented to you in the movie? So that's part of it. If
Exactly.
you, yeah, for me, clearly the entrance level was too high because a lot of these
Absolutely.
references I just didn't gather. So,
Absolutely. And if you combine that with the very basic elements you can observe from society, like, for example, social relationship, uh,
mhm.
how art is portrayed, consumerism and capitalism, okay, which is very well satired in this movie, and how these elements relate to the fact that these other trends of explaining what the world and the vision and the cosmos is about, uh, not necessarily religion, but other types of beliefs and other types of philosophies. I mean, come on, Jodorowsky, please.
Yeah, no,
And
he knows his craft. That is something why I'm really not willing to criticize. Quite the opposite. I've seen other movies of his, completely different topics, so I know what he's capable of. But that's also why I said no. Okay, I'm clearly missing the point, and I figured it was me not having enough tools to understand or process the message she was conveying. But again, I consider myself an art critic, not just movies, art in general.
Mhm.
That's part of that process. You acknowledging I'm missing something. It's not the movie, the art piece error at all. It's you not having what it's required for you to digest or process whatever is being presented to you.
Well, but again, Jodorowsky illustrated art within the context of having an elite society who manipulates all the different artistic representations and how they manipulate how the way they show it to the commoners. Okay, again, and that is, very well portrayed right at the end of the movie, that third volume, okay, where all of these planets convey into the search for something more elevated, some sort of zenith or whatever. And as a matter of fact, the ending was clear. Okay, there's no zenith. There's just your way of living. Okay, the
Yeah,
present
that
moment,
ending,
and that's it.
the ending I got, that I did. So I agree with you. To me, again, since I missed some of the messages in the middle, I'm not gonna say it was not fulfilling, but it didn't hit as hard because
Exactly.
when it happened, it's yes, I get it. But yeah, I wasn't taken to that point just because I was not following all of the messages being presented. But
Exactly.
look,
Exactly.
that's exactly the whole point now.
Yes.
If you as a viewer, I don't know if you can tell, my demeanor has changed a little bit. I'm actually more excited now to go back and watch it a second time, just because okay, I'm getting this context,
Mhm.
and that I now I will I insist, which is pretty much what I've been saying this entire time. Give movies a chance. That's
Yeah,
the whole point. And
absolutely. Absolutely.
what we, Maria Laura and I, are really trying to give to you is these tools so you can go and give somewhat underrated movies, or how to say, the entrance level for that, to reach that enjoyment.
Yes.
Give those movies a chance, because there is
Yes.
always something
Yes.
to enjoy from these. So it's not that we purposely select difficult movies, but we do like this process of, really dissecting movies to reach that core of what the elements that make this movie come together. So
What's interesting about this huge mixture of everything is that, again, it is taking part of the concepts we have discussed in previous movies, not to go so far, Bugonia, for example, and all that belief of, there is this elite
which is our previous video, people go and watch it too.
now, right after this one. Yes. That portrays the belief of some sort of transcendence of humanity and the expectations of other species living far away from this one, for example. Again, Inside Job, okay? I remember the end of Inside Job, it's exactly like that. It's exactly like the holy the holy mountain. She reunites with these black robes entities, which we don't know if they are human, they are not, or whatever. And at the end, um, she manages to be, the director of a company, and these ropes, these black ropes, uh, say, okay, she's gonna do it perfect, but at the end, we have something in favor. She is human. You see? So again, everything connects, okay? If you want to take it from the side of religion and all that, okay, that's fine. But if you want to take it from a very, open perspective, you can easily understand how Jodorowsky is mixing up all these concepts together, okay?
Oh,
Again,
so
sorry,
mhm,
if actually you want to enter the movie by having some knowledge, it's as simple as, ask, for example, on the internet, what the cards mean, and you don't have to go so far, okay? The Spanish cards, the gold, the swords, the cups, and there's another one.
the clubs,
The
the clubs.
the clubs, exactly. Okay, ask for that, and you will have a complete understanding or a very good understanding of what everything means. Okay, so for example, the clubs are, the struggle you have to face, or you are facing currently with this situation or another. Those words are basically how you manage to survive those situations, or how you manage to overcome those situations. And then you have the cups, which are the projects, but not the projects you are doing, but the projects you have in mind, okay? The wish. That's the reason why he says the want, okay? Within the movie. And then you have the gold, okay, which is everything you manage to receive from all of your actions, from all of the actions. Okay, so this is a very basic explanation on how this works. Okay, of course, there's a lot to read. If you want to understand more about that, there's a lot to read. Remember that Spanish cards are not the only types of cards you can actually use for reading tarot and all that. And there are the other types of cards. I don't remember the name at the moment, but you have the major arcanes and the minor arcanes, and there's a lot to understand. Okay.
And I'll say it. I'm very familiar with the Spanish cards, and I had no clue what anything of MLaura just said from the scope of tarot.
Excellent.
Um,
Mhm.
exactly. My association with the Spanish cards is actually to the playing and somewhat of the story behind the card itself. But I learning just now, most likely with you, public, that these cards were also used for tarot.
Yeah, absolutely. Any type of card, any
Any
type of
card, okay,
card,
yes,
you can
I
use
did
for
know
a
that,
tarot.
but I had never encountered a conversation where Spanish cards were discussed within this. So yes.
Exactly, exactly. And they are actually mentioned in the movie, and it is the alchemist who takes Jesus Christ to this level of understanding, okay? Because Jesus Christ has no idea. I mean, everyone made a religion out of what happened to him, but I mean, there are these other views, these other parts of philosophies and understandings that actually might as well be, useful for other people. Okay. So it was a lot of information for Jesus Christ himself in the movie. Okay. So again, this is too much. Again, it's a good movie. It's a good movie. But I would say watch it, like
In three different sittings.
exactly in three different sittings, in three different, times. If you don't want to get tired, um, uh, do not misunderstand anything because there's a lot of imagery that is heavy. It's heavy to
That,
digest. Okay,
that's also
visually.
another thing. Asking somebody to not misunderstand something, it's hard because that's something that just happens. And let's face it, and this is where I actually, I'm not gonna say criticize, but um, I'm very uh against people watching a movie while also searching for meanings of things while the movie is going, or pausing it because you missed track of that connection. So I'd rather, if again you as a viewer watch the whole thing, you're lost, okay, but what really confused you will stick in your head. That is the moment when you should go and do your research and then give it a second chance. That is the proper way to analyze movies, in my opinion. But look, it's a lot of asking. I get that because then a movie that was already dense, and we're both saying that it's a very dense movie, we're pretty much asking you to give it a second chance. And that is also a tall asking.
It's a movie from 1973. I mean, if it was too much, let's add a little bit of, some
Exactly.
spices here.
Context is also has changed drastically from when
I
the
don't
movie was
think
made.
I don't think anyone took it like easily at that time. I don't think so. I mean, no
Even
way.
less so now. Yeah.
So, yes, that's what happens with this movie. Visually impressive,
Yes.
beautiful, um,
That's
hard.
how I was the one who suggested it. So I'll be honest. I suggested it because of the visuals. I don't watch trailers. I don't really read about the movies that I suggest. If I don't know them, it just caught my attention. So that was the only reason why. I remember I heard the director, who I've known for years now. So that was not new. And then I saw the visuals and like, oh, okay, there is something. There has to be something in there. But I insist, yeah, I will say it. I don't think I'm the public for this movie, but at the same time, I want to learn. So yeah, after gathering more information, I will give it a second chance because I'm interested in
Definitely,
really
definitely.
assessing.
Yes. Yes. And again, if you see it in those three parts and after, documenting and all that, maybe there's quite a lot joy you can feel. Yes. But well, as usual, Freddy, it is so unfortunate the fact that we need to end up this show.
Dear viewers, please drop the comments on whether you like tarot cards or not.
Yes. And if you like tarot cards, which is your favorite one? And don't tell me it's the King of Gold because it's not
Because you're
only
just
about
greedy.
money.
You're just being greedy. Wishful thinking. Mm-mm-mm. Thank
Okay,
you so
people.
much for watching and spending this time with us. Uh, this has been Freddy and MLaura in Go Movie Talks. Please like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you next week.
Enjoy.
Thanks for watching. Go Movie Talks.